everyone? Happy Thursday. Thanks for tuning in this week. I'm Dustin from Waller's Wallet, and today I want to talk about a horrible myth when it comes to credit cards, and that's opening credit cards is going to destroy your credit. Now, I currently have 24 active credit cards, and my credit score is over 800. When I started playing this credit card game, it started at 700. So I can tell you, opening them is not going to destroy your credit score. After people hear that, they tell me, how can that be? How can your credit score be that good when you've opened so many credit cards? And that's because people hear this misconception that opening credit cards is bad. People don't understand how their credit score is calculated. Here, let me show you. I've made this super fancy pie chart. And this pie chart shows a breakdown of our credit score. So let's go ahead and take a look at this. So we're going to go ahead and take a look at the largest chunk first, and that's payment history. That comes in at a whopping 35%. And that's important because if you make your bills on time, you get full credit for that. And there's so many tools out there to help you know when your credit statement is due, so you can make sure you can make those payments, or you can even set up automatic payments and never worry about it. So let's go ahead and take a look at the second largest chunk, and that's credit utilization. This is a tool the banks use to see how much of your available credit have you used. Banks want you to stay between 1 and 20%. I'm going to tell you, you want to be at 0%. So for example, if you have a credit limit of $500 and you owe $200 on that credit card, your utilization is 40%. Now if you decide to open another credit card and you get another $500 credit limit, your total credit limit is $1,000. You still owe $200, but your credit utilization now is 20%. But ideally, you want to keep your credit utilization at 0%. Anytime you pay interest on these credit cards, the interest rates outweigh any benefits you will earn from your credit card rewards. Now we're going to go take a look at our credit mix, which comes in at a low 10%. And this is your mix of different types of credit. It could be a mortgage, it could be car loans, it could be student loans, it could be credit cards. It's just the different types of credit you have. The more types of credit you have, the better the score is. Moving on to the length of credit. So the length of credit comes in at 15%. And the only thing that's going to help your length of credit is time. The longer you have credit, the better this score is. Now you do want to keep in mind, as you're opening and closing credit cards, it's important to have a long-term strategy with no-fee credit cards. And the reason why you want to have no-fee credit cards in place, those are going to be the staples in the background to help extend your credit while you're opening and closing cards with fees. If you only have cards with fees that you've closed every year, eventually those fall off your credit report, your credit score is going to drop. Now we're going to come up here and take a look at the last piece, which people have a misconception as a much larger piece than it actually is. So if you want to take a look at this new credit, which happens every time I open, or you open, a new credit card, it's only 10%. Your utilization and payment history are 2/3, or roughly 2/3 of your credit history. If you can keep these two pieces of the pie happy, your credit score is going to be really good. Now let's talk about some truths and about opening different credit cards. When you open a new credit card, your credit score is going to temporarily drop 3 to 5 points. But in a couple of months, your credit score is going to increase because your available credit increases, and if you're playing the game appropriately, your utilization stays low. If you're irresponsible with your credit and you keep a high utilization and miss payments, then this is going to absolutely hurt your credit. There is no doubt about it. So remember, you always want to keep that utilization at 0. If you keep the utilization at 0, you're earning rewards the bank is paying you. So what I always tell people is you want to treat your credit cards as cash. If you're applying for rewards credit cards, you typically want to score over 700. Now, if you're receiving denials with a score over 700, you might want to take a look. You may have too many inquiries recently from banks. Maybe you've been hitting them a little too hard because the bonus has been really good. But it's an identifier. Maybe you need to kind of slow down. So to sum it up, opening a credit card isn't bad. Not keeping your utilization low and missing payments is what can make opening credit cards bad. You want to treat your credit cards as cash. If you treat your credit cards as cash, you're going to keep that utilization low. You're only going to purchase what you can afford to pay off. When you open a new credit card, your score is going to temporarily drop, But overall, as long as you're responsible with your credit, it's going to increase over time. And remember, while everyone wants to think applying for a new credit card is a much larger piece, it's only 10% of your credit score. Hey everyone, thanks for tuning in this week. I hope you learned something new about your credit score and why applying for new credit cards is not going to destroy your credit. Remember, I post new videos every Thursday, so if you like what you saw, hit the subscribe button down below, and I'll see you all next week. Safe travels and take care.